Hello everyone, this is Noah Villaverde, host of Blank Green Canvas, back with another video. So after nearly 4 years of heavy campaigning from one of the most passionate fandoms out there, the elusive Snyder Cut of Justice League is finally here. For the uninitiated, Warner Bros. Released the theatrical cut of Justice League on November 2017. The film was a Frankenstein's monster of a blockbuster due to the fact that Zack Snyder departed the project following a family tragedy and Joss Whedon was brought on to oversee post-production and reshoots. Warner Bros. Was clearly terrified by the negative reception that Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice received and wanted a more light-hearted film, but unfortunately, Whedon's version attempted to please everyone but ended up pleasing no one. One group that was particularly disappointed was the hardcore fandom of Zack Snyder's vision for this DC extended universe, which promptly launched the hashtag #ReleaseTheSnyderCut campaign. Like any other fandom, a few bad apples hopped on to tarnish the intentions of this movement, but I'd be remiss not to mention that the movement led to at least $250,000 raised for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention in memory of Zack Snyder's daughter, Autumn, so kudos to the fandom for that. In regards to my personal feelings towards Zack Snyder's DCEU films, I'm somewhat mixed. I'm a fan of Man of Steel, but Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice still irks me to this day. It's a film that I have a complicated relationship with because while I do think there are some incredible moments in it, there are elements that I remain deeply conflicted with, particularly the portrayal of the two titular heroes. I wasn't someone eager for a Snyder Cut of Justice League because I felt that after the original version's underperformance, I thought it'd be best for DC movies to move on. But now it's finally here, and I must say that after sitting through all 4 hours of Zack Snyder's original vision, I kinda loved this movie. Okay, before I get into why I ended up really enjoying this more than I expected, I must get some of my issues out of the way first. Is 4 hours too long? Yeah, sure, and I feel that Snyder overuses his signature slow-mo effects on this one. I feel that it works for some sequences, particularly whenever the Flash is involved, but there are certain sequences where it's just unnecessary. There's a scene of Aquaman walking into the water as he downs some whiskey, and it's just an overlong, unnecessary music video. Also, Lois Lane is still a character that could be utilized better in these movies. Amy Adams is one of the best actresses in the industry. After all, she has been nominated for 6 Academy Awards, but I always felt that her Lois Lane was underwritten in these movies. I get that Snyder certainly has a long-term plan for the character in the future, but I'm not sure if we'll even see that come into fruition. The epilogue is also too long for its own good. It's cool that Snyder got a chance to shoot a new scene for the film, and while I enjoyed it for what it was, it felt more like an unnecessary deleted scene. I could also make some nitpicks if I wanted to, but honestly that's all I gotta say in terms of the issues I have with this movie, because otherwise I was wrapped up in virtually everything else. Sure, 4 hours is incredibly long, but to the film's credit, it was expertly paced. I can honestly say that I was never bored watching it and found that the film got better as it went along. The characters are fully realized here in a way that is satisfying. Batman and Wonder Woman obviously stand out given that they're the two characters that we're most familiar with going into this movie, but the other 3 members of the League are given proper, well, justice. Aquaman's motives here really make sense. The Flash doesn't feel like a discount Spider-Man like he did in the Whedon cut, and perhaps the biggest upgrade here is Cyborg. Ray Fisher has been vocal about his experience with Whedon and Jeff Johns on the 2017 version, and has been at the center of a public legal battle with Warner Bros., which led to him getting written out of Andy Muschietti's upcoming Flash movie, which is a shame because he brings in a star-making performance here. Cyborg is the emotional core of this film, and when looking back at the 2017 film, it's a crime in comparison to this. The film is also presented on HBO Max in a 4:3 aspect ratio to preserve Snyder's original vision for the film. He shot it in this aspect ratio with the intention of presenting it on IMAX screens, and while I'll admit I was nervous getting into this film because of its unusual presentation, it ended up not bothering me here because it works to the film's visual benefit now that we can see the entire image on screen. I would be down to see this on a proper IMAX screen in the future. Junkie XL also comes in for the film's score, which is substantially better than the 2017 version. I love Danny Elfman, but the fact that his score recycles his Tim Burton Batman theme and lazily incorporates the John Williams Superman theme made that film feel even more like a made-by-committee mess. Here, Junkie XL rightfully carries the baton from Hans Zimmer that was left in Snyder's previous 2 DC films, and it is really epic here, especially in the film's climax. So honestly, I enjoyed this thoroughly, even more than I expected to. I'm not a Zack Snyder hater by any means, and I do like some of his films fine, but I wasn't someone who was particularly passionate about his vision for the DCEU, but I'm surprised to say that by the end of the film it led to me wanting to see what happens next. Obviously that seems unlikely, at least right now, given where both Snyder and WB are at, but there were enough seeds planted that left me intrigued to see the story continue. Who knows what the future holds? Overall, Zack Snyder's Justice League is far and away a significant improvement over the original cut. The hardcore fans clamoring for its release will certainly be satisfied, but honestly I think even some detractors of the DCEU should give it a chance. Overall, I give it an 8 out of 10. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. I am Noah of Blank Green Canvas. I will see you in my next video.